Hey guys, in today's video, what we're going to talk about is how to get a job fast, okay? But here's the thing, I want you to avoid making a huge mistake. If you're interested in learning how to get a job fast, here's what you have to do. Never directly apply for a job. Now, I know that might not make any sense to you at this point, okay? But by the end of this video, you're going to understand why the worst possible thing you could ever do if you want to get a job and get a job fast is directly apply for a job. Let's talk about it. Welcome to another episode of Career Strategies. My name is Rodney Hughes, Mr. 100%, and the purpose of my channel is to teach you how to exponentially advance your career. So if that's something that you're interested in learning more about, do me a favor, hit that subscribe button and join the family. Oh yeah, and by the way, don't forget to hit that little bell icon so that you don't miss out on any of this kick-ass content. All right, let's go ahead and dive into it, all right? So what I want you to do is I want you to avoid making a huge mistake if you're interested in learning how to get a job fast, okay? And the huge mistake is you never want to directly apply for the job if you're interested in getting the job fast, okay? Now, why not? Why is this a thing? Okay, here's the thing. Let's imagine this for a second. Let's imagine that you are God's gift to this hiring manager for this particular role, right? Let's just imagine that you're like the world's greatest candidate as it's related to this particular role that you're applying for, okay? Well, here's the thing. Even if you're the perfect candidate, okay, you still have one really big problem. One really big hurdle, one really big challenge that you have to overcome in the interview process if you're going to be effective, okay? And that's obscurity. It's actually the biggest challenge that you're going to face in the interview process, especially nowadays. Now, just in case you don't know what obscurity is, it's the state of being unknown, inconspicuous, or unimportant, okay? Unknown, inconspicuous, or unimportant, okay? And here's the thing. Here's what I want you to understand. According to the ladders, okay, it's said that on a job that's posted on a major job board, on average receives about 250 resumes. Out of that 250 resumes, only 4 to 6 different people are going to be contacted about that particular position. Out of that 4 to 6 people, only one person is going to be extended the job. Okay, this is the average. Okay, so what that tells me is that on average, you're competing with at least 250 people. Let's put it this way, I always tell candidates this. If you think that a job is a great job, I promise you there are hundreds of other people out here that feel like that job is a great job as well, okay? And see, the reality is that most people take the absolute wrong approach when it comes to getting a job and getting a job fast. See, what most people do is they go through the interview process kind of like this, okay? They'll go ahead, they may tweak their resume, okay? But nonetheless, they'll have a resume. They'll go on somebody's either job board or they'll go directly to a website. They'll see the role posted there, and then they will directly apply for the role, okay? Through that website. All right. And then once they do that, then here's the most important thing that they do. They cross their fingers, tilt their head back and say, I hope that somebody will find my resume. Okay. That is what 99% of the people who will apply, who will be your competition in the job interview process are going to do. That process right there. Okay. So merely if you just merely want to have a competitive advantage in the process, do the complete opposite of what everybody else is doing. Okay, but let me get back to the point here. Okay, so that's what your competition is doing. Okay, they're going through that form of a process. I call that the I hope process, right? Because they go through it and then they just hope that somebody will stumble across their resume. Okay, and this is it doesn't matter whether somebody is an absolute fit for the role or whether somebody is just like far from being a fit for the role. This is how most people go through the interview process. Okay, and so what ends up happening is what I call the zebra effect. Okay, and so what most people do is they go through the process that way and they end up looking like a zebra in a pack of zebras. Okay, could you imagine like looking at a pack of zebras running by? all of them looking exactly the same, right? No one zebra is standing out. Well, that's what people do when they take this approach to the process, okay? And this is actually the worst possible thing you could do if you want to get a job fast, because again, you're blending in with everybody else, right? See, if you want to get a job fast, you have to be willing to be different, okay? I believe in being different, okay? I am not a fan of doing what everyone else does in the process. As a matter of fact, I am not a fan of directly applying for a job when I need to get a job fast, okay? I believe in absolutely bypassing that process, okay? Because here's what I want to do, okay? What I want to do is I want to go directly to the source, okay? That's what I always believe in doing. When it's time to when I got to get a job fast, I want to go to the source. I want to go to somebody that can say yes. See, when you go through the regular interview process like everybody else is doing, you end up in this portal and maybe they find your resume, maybe they don't. A lot of times they don't, okay? As an executive recruiter, I could tell you there are plenty of times I come across candidates that I can't represent because they've already applied for the job directly, and then guess what? The company doesn't even know that they exist, okay? And they could be a phenomenal candidate. And because they get 1,000,001 freaking resumes, okay? Nobody's gonna, remember how I said, the ladder said that the average job posting gets 250 resumes. Do you think that somebody is really gonna sit there and look through every one of those 250 resumes? Come on now. If it's a small company, maybe, right? But if you're talking about a top tier company, man, please. Nobody's going through that many resumes, okay? They probably get thousands of resumes every single day. It's easy to get lost in the sauce, okay? So that's why I believe in being different. That's why I don't want to leave my chances. If I need to get a job and get it fast, I don't want to leave it up to hope, okay? I want to do something about it. I want to be proactive, okay? And so what I do is I just completely bypass the process, and I focus on finding somebody who can say yes. See, here's the reality. Everybody in the company can say no, right? Everybody can look at your background and say, I'm not interested, right? From the CEO to the manager to the receptionist to the person who handles the maintenance, everybody in the building can say no. Everybody has the power to say no, but there's only a few people typically who can say yes to a candidate. And see, when I go through the process and I want to get a job fast, I want to interact with the people who can say yes. I want to interact with the people who can make things happen, right? See, because I know that most of my competition is too afraid to go to these decision makers. See, I live there. I'm perfectly comfortable there, okay? Even when I wasn't comfortable there, I knew that if I wanted to get a job and get a job fast, I gotta go to somebody who could say yes, right? Because here's the reality. If you reach out to the CEO of the company, they have the ability to not even interview you and say, yes, you're hired right there on the spot, like right over the phone. Is it likely to happen? Probably not, okay? But it can happen. I'm pretty sure there have been times when it has happened, okay? And so again, you want to find somebody that can say yes, okay? Don't directly apply for the job, because all you're going to do is get lost in the sauce. See, what you have to do when you identify who the person is that can say yes to hiring you, then what you have to do is you have to find a creative way to engage with that person. All right, you have to find creative ideas that can allow you to engage with this person so that you can bypass all of the competition. So that that's how you speed the process up. Because if you just put your resume in a random portal or submit your resume online, you have absolutely no way of controlling whether or not anybody sees your background. See, but if you pick up a phone and you make a cold call, or you get dressed and you walk in and give them your resume, or just think of many different creative ways. Matter of fact, let me give you an example of what I'm talking about here, okay? On my last job, okay, the way that I went about getting a job, it took me about 2 weeks, to end up getting the job. Okay, well, no, not really. Actually, it ended up, well, no, it did take me about 2 weeks. It took me about 2 weeks. So what ended up happening was I took my resume and I printed it out. I paid money to print it off on this high quality paper. I ended up getting a very large black envelope, and I got a metallic marker, and I put my resume in that black envelope, in that large black envelope, because I know this. I know that it is not typical for anyone to get a large black envelope. So I knew that in and of itself would give me a competitive advantage. I hand wrote out the envelope, okay, and then I mailed off my resume and a cover letter to the hiring decision maker. The hiring decision maker ends up getting this envelope, but he never ended up responding directly to me, right? So a week goes by, and then at the very beginning of the following week, I decided, you know what? I'm not gonna leave this up to hope again. I'm gonna follow up. Listen, if I spent money to get a black envelope and to print my resume out on great paper, I earned the right to follow up and make sure that at the very least, this decision maker got that envelope. So what did I do? I picked up the phone, I cold called in, right, and ended up getting through and leaving a voicemail on that decision maker's line, okay? Because he didn't pick up the phone when I called in, all right? But then immediately after that, what I did was I ended up following up. I tracked down his email address on Google, which anybody can do, okay? And I tracked down his email address, and then I sent him a direct email, a cold email. And I said, hey, listen, this is Rodney Hughes. I sent you my resume in a large black envelope last week. Just wanted to follow up, make sure that you got it, and see if you would be open to scheduling a 10-minute conversation so I could share some ways with you of how I could be of value in this position. All right? See, all this is different. See, all this is more than what most people are willing to do. I promise you, it doesn't take much to differentiate yourself from the crowd, okay? I did those 3 things. Next thing you know, boom, end up getting a telephone interview scheduled. Boom. A couple days later, ended up being invited in for an interview. Boom. Next thing you know, they end up extending me the offer. Took about 2 weeks. That's it, okay? And most of that time was it was more like a week and a half. And most of that time was just that week in which he didn't end up responding when I sent my that mail to him, okay? But here's what I want you to understand. I wasn't about to sit back and just apply. I never applied on the website for the role. I saw the role posted on the website. I don't care about that. Why would I want to put my resume in there and have a much higher likelihood of it not being seen? I knew that that's the worst way to go about getting a job and getting it fast. Okay? So that's what you got to do. You got to be willing to be different. Don't be afraid to be creative. Listen, if you feel as though you're not sure of how some creative ways, go on YouTube and look up some of the creative ways that people have gone about getting interviews. Okay? Because see, here's the thing. If you want to get a job fast, you have to be able to get an interview fast. Okay? And the worst way to get an interview fast is to do what everybody else is doing. Okay? Listen, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, I want to give you free access to a virtual training platform that I created called Interview Prep University. This is designed to teach you everything you need to know from point A all the way to point Z about the interview process, and it's designed to teach you how to exponentially improve your job interview skills. If you're interested in taking and having free access to it, it's 100% free, no strings attached. All you have to do is go to my website, www.interviewprepuniversity.com. Again, that's www.interviewprepuniversity.com, or you could click the link in the description area below. Listen, thanks for checking out the video. Hope you enjoyed it. If you did, like it, comment on it, and then make sure that you subscribe to my channel if you haven't done so already. Welcome to the family, and I will see you in the next video. Take care.